So, welcome everyone. I'm Alexander Mihalcha, and today we have one of the industry leaders, Jack Everitt, co-founder of THNDR. Welcome, Jack. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, and I'm excited to have you on the podcast today, and I'm sure you're going to be of great value for the audience. Now, before we dive in, could you give us a quick overview of what THNDR does?
Yeah, so at Thunder, we have a platform of skill games so that any app or website or casino can add our PvP games to their platform or app or website.
Okay, that's fascinating. And basically, what inspired you to create Thunder? Was there a specific moment or experience that sparked this journey?
Yeah, so Thunder originally started out as a free to play PvP app where we were rewarding people with Bitcoin. And what inspired me to start on that track was we basically I've been a Bitcoin fan for a long time, and there wasn't really a way to add Bitcoin to games without it costing lots of money to like send and receive Bitcoin. And then the Lightning Network came out, and I started experimenting adding that into the games. So yeah, we were able to send like prizes of as small as like one Satoshi to the winners of competitions in the games. So that's kind of where the inspiration came from, was to make this like free to play PvP platform based on Bitcoin.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. And what was your background before starting this venture?
Yeah, so I've always been an entrepreneur. I started off basically in 2008, 2009, when the App Store first came out. I saw lots of people like getting rich. And I was like, wow, I think I should try and get rich as well. So I made a couple of apps, and one of them went to number one in the store in the US. It was called Vault, and it was like a lightning bolts coming from your fingertips. So when that came out and I had some success, I quit my job and started making games for the App Store. So my background is basically games and apps. I've done rewarded apps, games. I've even done a mortgage app. So
Yeah.
yeah, eclectic collection of things. And on the Bitcoin side, I've just been like a believer in it for like 10 years now. So that's kind of like always been in the back of my mind.
Interesting. But for example, looking back, what do you wish you've done differently in those early days?
I think I should have delegated in those early days. So I had some success, and I was too scared to spend money on new employees. So I didn't employ a lot of people, but it meant that I couldn't grow because I wasn't delegating work that obviously I should have employed someone to do. So I think, I think not being afraid to hire your replacement was my biggest regret.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And you mentioned about an interesting point. So, for example, what inspired you to combine gaming with Bitcoin back in 2019?
Yeah, so rewarded games at the time, you could win some money and you could cash it out via like a PayPal or uh, like a card, like a Costco card or some card. And the problem was you had to win about $10 worth of rewards before you're able to withdraw. So that was kind of a bad user experience because that would take like a couple of months of
Yeah.
constant playing to get to that level. But with the Bitcoin and specifically using Lightning Network, you could cash out like one Satoshi immediately. So what it means for rewards apps is the user can download the app and like earn some money immediately and withdraw it within like the first 15 minutes and get it
Yeah.
instantly.
Okay, interesting. And can you tell us about meeting your co-founder desire in virtual reality and how did that shape Thunder's direction?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I was doing games like you could earn Bitcoin on by playing these competitions. And Desiree was working at a company called Lightning Labs, and they were organizing conferences around the Lightning Network and Bitcoin. And the coronavirus happened, and all the conferences
Yeah.
shut down. So Desiree started organizing conferences in like virtual reality, basically. So I met her at one of those like meetups. So we were having like I don't know, meetup every couple of weeks in virtual reality with like Bitcoin enthusiasts. So yeah, that's how we met, and yeah, then down the line we decided to join forces and raise money for Thunder to take it to the next level. Really.
Yeah, interesting, interesting. And now let's go back to when you first started because I think this is very interesting. So, how did you discover the pivot from Bitcoin rewards to embedding games in other apps?
Yeah, so this is interesting, I suppose. So we had these free to play rewarded games, and we interviewed our users, and they all wanted to bet on the games. They didn't want to just have free entries because the prizes are small, obviously.
Yeah.
So we decided to change the games to allow wagering between the players. So two players could bet on a hand of solitaire or whatever game they were playing. And we had this really cool payment mechanic with Bitcoin where you could instantly pay for a match and receive the money straight away afterwards, which was quite novel. So we approached a sports betting website to see if they were interested in adding this kind of betting technology to their website, this payment technology. But they actually just wanted to add our games. They were like, "Wow, your games are actually
Right.
really good." So we were like, oh, "Okay." We had no idea that people would want to add games to their websites. Didn't really know
Mhm.
anything about iGaming at all. So yeah, we just decided to go for it. We added the games to our website, and they were a really big success. So we decided to find more companies, and we realised it was a whole big industry of people adding games to websites. So yeah.
Yeah, right, right, right. But what's been the most surprising aspect of scaling Thunder while maintaining a lean team through the AI automation?
Um, yeah, so it's kind of weird. Like when you're doing AI, it's really good for when you have repeated processes. So what I found is like some boring, like as a co-founder, you have to do all the boring jobs. You have to do like
Yeah.
operational tasks, things that are not what you normally consider what an entrepreneur is doing. And but with AI, it allows us to create automations. So you need to blend AI with an automation to take care of some of these boring jobs, or at least make them 10 times faster. Like so, you can just click a button and they're done. So yeah, it's been really helpful to keep our team lean because we're able to simply not have to have so much operational burden. But also it helps with design because AI is really good at design, and our games are completely white labelable, so they can be tailored to any brand.
Yeah.
So we have this like AI automation where you can put in a website, and the AI will know how to white label our games. You have to tweak them still, but it makes it 10 times faster.
Yeah, interesting, interesting. And also, could you share how your first client actually approached you and how that shaped your business model?
Yeah, like I said, the first client was we were trying to sell our payments idea, and he just wanted the games, and it did shape our model because we were going for a more technology based business where we were trying to leverage Bitcoin to do some payments tech and have a business around that. But he wanted our games, so we decided to pivot back to making more games because we've got a really good games development team. And yeah, so now we're more focused on fun and content rather than
Mhm.
uh, accounting software. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it did because if he'd said he wanted the payments tech, we would be just making accounting software basically at this
of
point,
course.
not making games. So it was quite a significant divergence.
Okay, okay. And now walk us through how Thunder addresses these challenges. What makes your approach unique?
So yeah, we have the skill games, which is interesting because in about 80% of the world, skill games are not considered gambling, which means that you can run the games without any licenses or regulatory oversight. So, what it means is that our partners in the US, for example, who have P2P, peer-to-peer sports books, they can add like a casino to their app without having to have a casino license because it's not technically a casino, it's a game of skill lobby. All the games you can, if you beat someone else, you'll win their money. So that's what makes it unique to the other games that are out on the market is that they can't access those areas in the US because they have to have a license.
Okay. And for example, how does the Lightning Network enable your unique approach to gaming payments?
Yeah, so we have a B2C app called Clinch where we have all of our games in it. And the reason why it's different to other wagering games is that the user can pay for every bet on demand. So it's like pay as you go betting, there's no deposit. So we never custody the user's funds in that app. When the user wants to place a bet, they pay for the bet. Bet is held in escrow until the match is finished, and then the payment, whoever wins, gets the money sent immediately back.
Okay.
So it's very unique in that sense because the user doesn't need to trust their funds on a platform. They just have to trust that we will pay them if they win. So the
Yeah.
trust is minimized. And the fees to send those payments isn't very high because the Lightning Network, you can use it with nearly zero fees.
Okay, okay. And for example, how quickly can companies integrate your games and what results are they typically seeing?
Yeah, so takes about a week to integrate the games because the on the front end is very quick. It's like a couple of hours, but on the back end you need to integrate your payments with our games. So if the user wins, the customer will need to like credit debit the user's accounts. So yeah, it's very quick. Probably just yeah 1 week, and then what we've seen is especially on apps like sports books and lottery couriers where the users are kind of transient. They come for a big lottery or they come for a big match and they make a bet. Adding the games creates an additive source of revenue for these companies because whilst there's not a big game or a big jackpot happening, the users still come back and play the games and betting on something
Yeah,
different.
yeah, of course, of course. And for example, regarding to the security challenges, have you something faced similar to cryptocurrency gaming and how have they strengthened your product basically?
Yeah, the security challenges with games, especially games of skill, is around like preventing bots and cheats. So we have like a patent pending back end where we verify all the moves that users play. So we know that they played the game legitimately. So we have a super strong like fraud protection. And then yeah, bots we have to do like different checks on the device and their how they're playing to make sure that someone's not automating the game. But even saying that, our games are designed with an element, a tiny amount of luck where running a bot will not be profitable over time because we match people with a 50-50, like the same level of skill. So everyone ends up with a 50-50 win ratio over time. So even a
Okay.
bot will just lose, won't make any money because of the fees.
Yeah, yeah, I see, I see. And you know, I often find that innovative solutions face the initial skepticism. And for example, when you talk to potential clients, what's the biggest misconception they typically have about what you do?
I think when we talk to clients, they're not really familiar with skill gaming. So we normally talking to people in the iGaming industry. So they're familiar with, random number generator games. And they don't really know how big skill gaming is. It's like a $30 billion market in of itself. And it's just all at these companies on the App Store basically making these apps.
Mhm.
And it hasn't really crossed over. So there isn't any misconceptions. There's more like they don't understand the concept or have not even tried it before. So we have to explain the basics, like both players in a match have the same set of cards, have the same sequence of moves, and
Okay.
that's all fair. So I have to just give a little bit of a primer.
Mhm. Okay, interesting. Interesting approach. And now, looking at the broader industry, what key trends are you seeing emerge?
Well, the key trend at the moment, and people are mitigating against, is sweeps being regulated or shut down in different states in the US. So we see that that's obviously affects our business because people are coming to us for an alternative. So if they've lost their customers in, say, California because they've shut their sweeps brand down, they still have the brand there and they're using our skill games as an alternative.
Mhm.
Well, that's kind of like a on a high level. I've seen that kind of trend, the trend away from sweeps or like mitigating against the regulatory headwind.
Mhm.
Um, And I think just quality. I've seen a lot more like higher quality products, like higher quality games coming
Yeah.
out. Um, and cryptocurrencies, obviously. trending upwards, and mainly because I think banking partners are more comfortable servicing businesses that have cryptocurrency options. So it's becoming easier to offer cryptocurrency. But when we first started, our bank closed us down because we
Yeah,
had
right.
Bitcoin rewards, so we had no bank account for a while. But now we have many bank accounts because people are more comfortable.
Yeah, sure. But you mentioned an interesting point there. So, where do you see the intersection of gaming and cryptocurrency heading?
Yeah, so in our use case, we do PvP bets between two players. So we see the real time settlement of those bets is where cryptocurrency can help. Because at the moment, on our platform, if a player is playing on some website, one website, we match them with a player on another website. So they've always got someone to play against. But
Yeah.
at the end of the month, we have to settle those bets between the two operator websites so that money flows to the right person. But with cryptocurrency, especially like Bitcoin Lightning Network with near zero fees, you can settle those bets like once per day or once an hour or every bet if you like. So really, it's not really a customer facing feature. It's more of a like back office, reduce your risk of like someone owing you
Mhm.
money feature.
Yeah, makes sense. And for example, I have a curiosity about what emerging technologies are you most excited about for the future of embedded gaming?
I think AI is very interesting because it speeds up the like development process. So I'm always interested in like what tools people are using to do stuff quicker. Like
Yeah,
their ideas, prototypes. Because with games, you need to for every 10 games you make, only one of them is fun, sort of thing.
yeah.
You can't just have like every game you make is fun. So you need to do like 10, 20 prototypes of different concepts, and then pick one from that. So anything that makes that faster is super interesting.
Okay. And for example, what would you tell to companies considering adding gaming to their platform?
Yeah, I would say if you're considering gaming on your platform, you'll get more engagement from your users. It will give diversity to your product to make it more fun, and you can monetize them in a different way. So it's worth trying because it's super quick to add. You know, it's
Yeah.
like 1 week, and you potentially have a very big upside. So it's like super. It's a very good bet.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you're ahead of the curve in many ways, which makes me think curious about your growth plan. So, how are you looking to grow for the next year?
Yeah. So basically, we are growing in terms of the product features we have. So we've got about 8 partners now, I think, live, and they've all got requests. Unfortunately, they're very similar product feature requests. So we're going to grow the product to align with what our customers want. And yeah, then we're looking to hire. So we need to hire some more developers and some business development uh, guys or girls to help us grow our pipeline of new customers.
Okay, and is AI on top of your mind?
Only to speed up processes, not to. I don't like AI to prospect or run my social media or anything like that. I like it for operational optimization
Hmm.
and product optimization. Like our dev team uses AI obviously all the time to code because it makes you just 10 times faster. So yeah,
Okay.
anything that makes those kind of core functions faster.
Okay, makes sense. But for example, if we picture this and if I gave you an extra $1 million for growth right now, where would you allocate it?
I would hire more bodies because we're a very small team, and I would hire those guys I said earlier, the back end dev, game dev, business development, also like operations person, and spend a bit more on marketing. Like we've had a small booth before at conference. We never tried a big booth, so I'll try a big booth just
Yep.
because I'd be very interested to see how that works out. And yeah, I think I'll actually spend it on some like team building because
Yeah.
we're overdue like a team building offsite.
Okay, makes sense. And before we wrap up, I'm curious about what's on the horizon. So, when you look at Thunder's journey over the next few years, what possibilities excite you the most?
I think just being the thing that excites me the most is being the like provider for skill games for all of the big companies. So
Yeah.
that's what excites me, and we are having a lot of inbound from some big companies asking for us to demo our tech. So that's really exciting. So yeah, I just want to deliver the best skill gaming experience for all these people who are trusting us with this part feature in their product. So yeah, I'm just excited about building that because it's just fun.
Okay, interesting. And for listeners who want to learn more or potentially work with Thunder, what's the best way to get in touch?
The best way to get in touch is on our website. We have a contact form, and our website is thdr.io. Or you can find myself or Desiree, my co-founder, on LinkedIn. That's probably the two best ways.
Okay, great. Yeah, so thanks for joining me today, Jack, and for this amazing podcast session. And for anyone listening, make sure to check out Thunder socials below in the description because this episode was packed with value and I can't wait to see what you build next.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, see you in the next episode.